Welcome to the We're Not Blowing Hot Air podcast, powered by Oxygen Plus, featuring amazing athletes and wellness-minded individuals who share how they elevate their everyday lives.
On this episode of We're Not Blowing Hot Air, we chat with D1 basketball player Nevaeh Tot, a point guard at University of Oklahoma. She shares how she found success through perseverance and dedication to reach the top of her game. Hey everyone, welcome to We're Not Blowing Hot Air. Hello Lauren, how are you?
Hi Ben, I'm great. It's always good to see you on an episode.
It is. We just came back from a wonderful retreat with our company, and it was really cool and really special. I really enjoyed it. It was great to just spend time on the lake and just to kind of find peace in the morning and have a nice cup of coffee and just to spend time with the wonderful people here at O+.
Yeah, it was really chill. I was so glad that we could all just kick back this time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We've had ones where it was like more like disciplined and organized with schedules, and it was just so nice, to just kind of have that friendship element of our team
and connecting
plan.
for sure. Connecting is huge,
and being in nature, right?
Being in nature. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a company retreat in nature for sure. It's just something different about it. So
it's really cool to do it. So
I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling energized. And today we have a really special guest, a D1 basketball player. From University of Oklahoma. Her name is Nevaeh Tot. Welcome, Nevaeh.
Hey everybody, how are you guys?
Hey, we're good. It's an honor to have you here today.
We're so excited.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course. How are you doing on this fine Monday?
This Monday is going pretty well. I mean,
for a Monday, right?
I can't complain.
Monday morning.
Exactly. Are you a early morning person, or are you like you got to sleep until like 10:30 and then the day starts?
It kind of depends, honestly. It depends what time I go to bed that night. But I mean, I've been trying to wake up early because I feel like it gives me more time to do what I need to do or want to do.
For sure. Yep.
So, and I see all the time people wake up early, get a great workout in, and then start the day off right. So I may start doing that. I haven't decided yet.
We'll see. Yeah, the sleep, it's important, but it's a lot of people, have that routine, and once you get in that routine, right, that's kind of where success comes. And obviously you are a D1 basketball player and you've found a lot of success probably in routines and working hard. So I'm super excited today to kind of dive in and get to know you a little bit better and just chat.
Thank you.
Let's get into it. And once again, I want to shout out to Market Price. They're amazing. We found Nevaeh on Market Price. They're just an awesome platform for college athletes to be able to find awesome brands like Oxygen Plus, and we get to meet super amazing individuals on there. So shout out once again to Market Price on this.
For sure. Yep.
They're amazing. Well, let's get into it. How do you O+?
How do I O+? I mean, so first I want to start how I found you guys. Found you guys on Market Price, kind of DM'd you, messaged you. And then I saw like you guys do like Oxygen, and I knew that is something like I needed. I've been trying to find a way of how to recover faster whenever I'm on the floor or during practice. And I know that they prepare us for that, but also be beneficial if I actually use something for it. And so that's how I pretty much O+. I use it whenever I need it or whenever I feel like I'm low on oxygen.
That's awesome. And obviously, as a D1 basketball player, you guys have a whole team behind you to give you guys like proper nutrition, proper, strength and conditioning, but being able, that's really cool that you're saying, hey, I want to find kind of that extra edge, to be able to help with recovery, because, you can do all the strength training and drinking water and getting good enough sleep, but being able to find that kind of extra recovery is really cool.
Definitely.
I'm curious, does your training teach about breathing and or oxygen or anything, or is this something you like knew and discovered on your own?
No, they actually teach us. Usually they make us like lay on the floor and they try to like make us breathe through our like stomach. They say that's where you get the most oxygen. You can either do that laying down or standing up. So we'll do it like a couple times after practice, or just be like randomly we'll do it. So
Wow, very, very interesting, because they're in the kind of the hype right now, and we have Dr. Sarah Petrick, who is she's a physical therapist and really an expert in the lungs and how breathing works throughout the body for all sort of physical ailments. But she talks a lot about how this idea of like belly breathing and what it really means, and but it's about like the whole like lungs being used in addition to like the belly and all, like, so the whole kind of like really getting in touch with that. But that's really good that they are aware of that, because I certainly haven't been in any like Division I sports myself, but I didn't know if that was happening, and it's great to hear that that's being addressed in some way.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I honestly didn't know belly breathing was like such a thing. I thought you just breathe through your lungs. I mean, that's how I was taught during high school and everything.
Right.
But.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's kind of what, and we're going to have Dr. Sarah Petrick. She's going to be, we're going to be working with her and developing some breathing programs with her. So it is a little, it is definitely lungs. That's like how oxygen is, how it works. Like it goes through your lungs. The abdominal is a part of it. So I wouldn't entirely give up on what you picked up in high school. That's what I'm saying. I think it's like, so more to come on that. We'll save that as a little teaser for you and our audience, but our listeners. But but how to breathe is very important, as much and maybe even more. And I am not ashamed to say this, coming from Oxygen Plus, but how to breathe is even more important than what you breathe. Of course, there are like exceptions, like when you're working out really hard or in pollution, where like what you breathe matters maybe more too. But
for sure,
definitely.
But what's so great about recovery, like, I don't know if you know this, but Oxygen Plus did a study. There was an independent study done on our products in the UK, like in 2020, and it looked at 7 healthy young male, middle, and long distance runners. And they underwent what's called a repeated measures design. So these were runners who got on a bunch of bicycles, and they did a test between 21% oxygen and 99.5% oxygen, which was our product. And what it showed was that during the time where they were breathing enriched oxygen, that their blood lactate levels decreased 24% post-exercise when compared to the same group using 21% or normal air. And so it was really the first study to find a significant result showing that Oxygen Plus, that breathing it confirms a physiological benefit when it's used in exercise. So that's really cool, because like it's doing what, part of how oxygen works in the body is obviously for energy production. It goes through the cycle where ATP, and when you're working out, you go through these like, it can't like process unless it has oxygen. So that extra demand of effort and energy in the body. And that's why oxygen is so useful when you are recovering between a, what's it called, Ben? Like when you're in the game and out, what's that called?
Like a kind of substitution, right?
Yeah. Substitution,
when you take a breather. Yeah.
And I actually saw something, a study that I was reading recently, where it talked about like point guards and how a lot of point guards are like bending at the knees, and there's a lot of motion in that. And so there was a study about kind of the lactic acid for like point guards. The buildup is higher for that position just because there is so much kind of bending of the knee and sitting, and then kind of that transition. So yeah, that substitution and then getting that proper oxygen is probably super important for them. So
I mean, definitely I can see why point guards like have more lactic acid. One, because like for me, I play a lot. And so I have to like lead my team where there's a lot more talking. Have to be able to go at the ball and run up and down the floor, lead my team, all that. And so that also comes from like running a lot, also comes from lactic acid built up.
For sure.
Not, I mean, it's also just sitting. Yeah, you just let that sit and then like kind of
Hmm.
clumps together, which
Yep.
can cause injuries. But also running up and down the floor a lot can also cause lactic acid in your
For
legs
sure.
or
Oof.
wherever.
Yep.
What is your position?
Point guard, yeah.
Oh, it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did you know that, Ben?
I did know that. Yeah, that's kind of why I threw it in there.
So you're the toughest one out there. in
Yeah,
other
yeah, I have to be.
words. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think once again, it's so important for people to kind of get that right knowledge about, using oxygen and taking care of their bodies, because you guys are doing obviously dynamic warm-ups before the game. You're getting
Mhm.
loose, you're stretching out, because it's like that preparation before a game is almost more important than actually playing the game, because if you're not taking in those precautions, that's how you're going to get injured. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just the longevity of an athlete is not going to be there if you're not being smart with hydration and everything else that goes into, taking care of your body.
Yeah, agreed. Like you're really supposed to really have like a sweat before you actually like even start the game.
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of like a mini practice built in
Yep,
there.
for sure.
Like you want to get your body warm. You want to get a
Exactly.
good sweat going, so you
Yep.
can avoid injuries,
Hmm.
stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is very important. So,
That's really great. Well, share a little bit more about who you are. I know that you're a junior. Where you are, where you're from, what you do in kind of your typical maybe summer and then school year.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am from Columbus, Ohio, but I grew up in Memphis and in Texas. So we kind of moved around a lot. My mom played in the WNBA, so
oh,
we
cool.
kind of traveled with her
Oh,
sometimes.
fantastic.
Yeah, so we went to a lot of different places, but I don't really remember because I mean I was young.
Hmm.
What is her name and what teams was she a part of?
Her name was Helen Darling.
Okay.
She played for the San Antonio Silver Stars, the Minnesota Lynx.
Hey,
Oh,
that's
that's
us.
awesome.
Come
That's
on
awesome.
now.
Yeah. She played for the Cleveland Rockers. She played for a Charlotte team. And there's like two more I forget, but majority of the teams are folded. They're not really a team anymore, except for the Minnesota Lynx. I think
Yep.
that's still a team.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah, we're still a team.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I went to high school with Lindsay Whalen. Am I allowed to
Oh,
say
really?
that? Can I say that
Yeah.
on public things?
Probably.
I guess. I don't know. She didn't.
That's
She
cool.
I talked to her a few times. She told me once that she never had soda, and I
Oh yeah.
thought that was cool and looked at
Wow.
her for a long time, like just stared. Oh,
I
like,
mean, yeah. I mean,
was-
that makes sense. I mean,
They probably tell you
soda's not
that.
really good for you.
Yeah, I mean, I remember in soccer, literally the first day of like practice or tryouts, or whatever. The coach's like, "If I see you drinking soda, he's like, you won't be playing the next game." Like he's like, it's just
really? Yeah.
well, yeah, and
That's
it's
great.
crazy because even just like for me not knowing the reasons why behind it, once
Mhm.
I stopped drinking soda, and then the amount of energy and like not feeling as tired, it was crazy. Like the impact
Yeah.
that drinking soda had on me, like as an athlete, like because when you're
I mean,
in high
it's
school,
the sugar, right?
Yeah.
It's not like the caffeine even as
no,
much as
because I'd always
caffeine.
drink a cup of coffee right before a game,
Oh,
just
cool.
to kind of like
Hey,
energize me. A
opens
little.
up your vascular. Same thing, oxygen. Really,
Exactly.
It gets your
Yeah, and there's a lot of studies behind it, and I would always be like, wow, I feel like I have more energy. But if I ever drank soda the next day, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna feel this,
Oh wow,
So that's crazy that she would tell you that.
Anyway, so your mom. I mean, I don't want to lead you somewhere, but that must have been pretty. Like, and here you are playing. It must have been pretty inspirational. Having
Yeah.
And she's a trailblazer. I mean, you're still having. Are you one of the few legacy players in the WNBA or in the like in basketball in general? I mean, like, is it common for a lot of the daughters and now to be playing? Like, what do you know about that? I'm so curious.
I think I'm honestly, I don't know. I know a lot of like WNBA players now have children who are actually playing basketball. So
They are.
Yeah. So I wouldn't
Okay.
say I'm like the only one. So I think there's plenty more out there. So
You should maybe find them. That would be a super cool network
Yeah.
that would be.
to reach out to and the babies of the WNBA playing ball. Like, I mean, come
That'd
on.
be cool.
Get a
That's really
game
cool.
together.
Superstar team.
Get
Right?
we can we'll do an Oxygen Plus like
We'll
like
sponsor the game. Yeah.
Totally. That would be so fun.
That would be so
Great.
fun.
So okay, so you're from Ohio. Where are you living now?
I live in Oklahoma now.
You're in
that's where.
Oklahoma. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And how is it in Oklahoma? What's that like?
I would say I'm kind of far from my family in Ohio, but I do have family in Texas, so it's only about 2.5 hour drive.
Oh, nice.
But I enjoy it. It's more peaceful over there, in my opinion. I think there's like a lot of connections for me and what I want to do. A lot of opportunities. So I mean, I'm not complaining. I mean, I got a lot of things set up for my future. So
That's
I'm excited
awesome.
about that.
What do you want for your future? What does that look like?
I think I would say like a businesswoman. I'm not taking any business classes, but I kind of want to have my own business, and I want to start my own, like have my own movie studio because I want to be a film director.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I guess the business part is I want to have like own vending machines and ATMs and kind of do that as a side hustle.
Yeah.
But also want to get into real estate. I feel like that can be a huge side hustle where I can make like money anytime I want. And so then I also want to start my own podcast about mental health for athletes. So
that's awesome.
I got a few things going on.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. I think it's so important for athletes, because, some athletes have obviously a future going professional, but you obviously know the statistics of how small that is, but being able to kind of have other things that you can, look forward to and build yourself, like, that's really cool. Like to be able to, for someone to already think like, hey, I want to find passive ways to make passive income, and then to be able to have this movie directing and kind of building that too. And then like your podcast, share a little bit more about like why you wanted to start that or kind of what's the vision behind that.
So last year, well, after my sophomore season, I kind of like went through a mental health crisis. Before that, I honestly didn't know mental health was like really that important. I kind of just brushed it off. I'm like, oh, they'll get through it. Until I actually went through it, I'm like, wow, those people are like actually real strong for what they went through, for how they like got through it. And so I kind of seen that people don't really take athletes seriously when they say like mental health is something like we all go through. And how the athletes are away from home. We gotta like do school. We gotta go to workouts and put in 100%. And like all those things like kind of build up. And so it's like after the season, it's like for me, I didn't really know what to do like with my life. I thought all I knew was basketball. And so now I'm trying to find myself outside of basketball. So like whenever I actually stop playing, I have like a few things I can do to keep me busy, stuff like that. So that's really the main reason why I want to start my mental health podcast. I kind of want to see what other athletes do whenever they're going through a hard time, or what they do on a daily basis, or what they do to like prepare their minds for the week. So I mean, it can expand like a lot with different athletes. You got football, baseball, softball, soccer, like a whole bunch of other sports. So that's why I wanted to start it.
That is really cool because I think there's a lot of athletes that would definitely benefit from that. Just being able to kind of find like a network and find like another, a group of athletes that say, hey, like we're all like struggling, and maybe sharing tips and tricks of how they deal with it. Because obviously as athletes, you have a lot of pressure on you too, right? Like especially like if you're playing at a massive school, D1 school, where it's like you got a lot riding on you in terms of like your scholarship and where you're going to go for your future. And it's a lot of pressure. And I don't think it's talked about enough about the pressure and stress that you guys are under.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Wow. Well, you've already accomplished a lot, and a lot of hopefully younger people who aren't maybe applying to colleges right now, who are athletes or wanting to be a professional athlete in some capacity. If they're listening, what would be one of like the single most important action you have taken to really reach your current level of success, what would that one, if you had to pick one thing, what would that be to inspire and offer some hope to people?
I would say for me, motivate like your own self. So I wouldn't say I had a lot of pressure, but I kind of want to be like my mom and like how she played in the league. But like now that I'm older, I kind of want to make a name for myself, and I don't want people to kind of like, I guess, relate me to her. Like she's my mom, but I also want to make a name for myself, like she made a name for herself. And I don't mind being compared, but like also I have my own life. Like this is me. Like this is who I am. Like I'm not my mom. I'm not her. But, and so I would say people should kind of motivate themselves. Like they're not always going to have that motivation from their mom or dad. I mean, I did, luckily, but like other people may not. And so you gotta like want to do the work on your own. Like for me, I'm really short. I'm 5'2", so it's pretty rare for me to be in the D1 level. But like I worked for it. So
that is awesome.
there was this point in time where I didn't really have many scholarships, but I had to work for it. So I went outside every day. We had a basketball hoop. It was sunny. Some days I would go out, but when it rained, I would still go out. Like it would be raining super hard. I would have on my hood and my jacket and everything. And I would still like continue to work out. I would even fall and slip because it was rainy and wet, but I would still get up and like and go work out.
God, that's so cool. I have total goosies.
But it's because I wanted it. Like I wanted to make a name for myself. I wanted to have my own scholarship. And I wanted to be like a D1 player. I wanted people to see like short people can also make it. Like it doesn't matter if you're 4'9", 5 foot, 5'4", 5'6". Like I'm 5'2" and I'm still here.
Right, exactly.
So I kind of like, I guess, motivated myself. I had motivation from my parents as well. And so, I mean, I just wanted it, and you have to want it. If you don't want it, then you're not in the right place.
Right.
Mic drop.
Yeah, seriously.
That says it. That's so good. That
the new
is
Nike
so
ad
good.
right there.
Yeah.
If you want it.
Yeah. I see a deal going on with Nike in your future.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That is awesome. I mean, you got one with Oxygen Plus. So.
Yeah.
That's, I think motivation is a big thing. And we've had a lot of athletes, share with us that like, obviously routines are super important, but that like motivation of like having to sacrifice other things, to reach that level of success. Because I mean, it'd be so easy to just say, I'm just going to sit inside, like it's raining, like whatever. But it's, it's putting in that extra work and that time and that energy that, you're going to prove to everyone that like you deserve to be here, and I think that's a very like satisfactory feeling when you get to the place that you want to be. And you're like, I worked hard for it and now I'm here.
And it kind of like it kind of makes you feel good about yourself. Like, oh, if I can do this, I can do like anything in life. Cause I'm motivated by me. I'm motivated by myself.
Yeah,
right. For sure.
So,
well, on kind of the flip side of that, what would be kind of the single most difficult situation, maybe you've faced, to get to maybe where you're at or just in life in general?
I would say when I got here, when I got to college, I kind of had to like adjust. Like I know I said I'm shorter than people, but like I had to like upgrade my game. Like it didn't, the work didn't stop once I got to college. Like that work, you have to put in more work in order to be successful at this level. And so people may think, oh, since I put in the work, I'm in college now, like I can stop working. Like, no, that's when the work, like you have to put in more work. Like you have to like that motivation for yourself is kind of like even more than what it ever has been. And so, hope that answers your question. But
yeah, for sure. And you kind of alluded to it already in the question before about your size. That's probably something that, probably as a shorter person in basketball, like, that's I would never have, thought that a lot of people would probably think, oh yeah, like if you're short, you just don't even think about the NBA, or don't even think about the WNBA. Like it's not for you. But in reality, it's like you really do have to overcome that. And so it's I think that was kind of probably maybe something else that you probably had to really work through because you didn't let your size kind of
Like, yeah.
determine your future.
Right. Yeah, that is one of the huge, one of the, I guess, complications I went through or had to overcome. People
Yeah.
always told me, "Oh, you're too short. You're not gonna like play." But I mean, I'm the starting point guard at Oklahoma. Like, what? I mean, I can't.
Yeah.
You're raining
I
buckets.
yeah, that's like people's dream, I guess,
Right.
or at least at my
Yeah.
size. So I guess you could say anything's possible. I know it's cliche, but it's true. You
Yeah.
gotta make
Well,
it happen.
if you put your mind to it, yeah, it's possible if you want it. I just a quick little side story about the height thing. I'm pretty tall, and I always have been as a kid. Right now, I'm like 5'9", but I look like I'm 5'10" to people. And some coaches and like grade school, high school, like, you should play basketball. So I tried, and I scored twice the entire season. I was the worst. Like I was terrible. I was a ballet dancer, so I don't know if it translated as well. But but like height, like, what is it that
These
has to do with it? It's
that like,
heart.
oh, you're tall, so you
Yeah.
should play basketball, but it's not like, well, maybe that's not where your heart was at.
Your heart. And Rudy, right? In
Right.
football. Like,
Yeah.
have you seen that movie?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
I have.
such
That's
a
a
good movie.
great
Yeah,
movie.
it's like,
But like he made it
similar.
happen. He motivated
Yep.
himself.
Yep.
He talked to people. He made connections, and that's what it's all about.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's so
Yeah.
great.
You just gotta
Amazing.
persevere and push through.
Definitely.
Well, I mean, I don't know the answer to this, but I'm really excited to find out. One person in your life who's impacted you the most. Who is that and why?
Yeah, I would say
And you
my
can't
mom.
say yourself. Okay.
Yeah,
you can't say yourself.
my mom really impacted me. So I'm the only girl outside of my brothers, and so she really taught me how to be an independent woman. I know when I figured out women in life have it harder. We don't have as much power, or you could say, and so making that name for yourself, or making that lifestyle for yourself. I was always taught to become independent, have your own money, never depend on anybody to kind of take care of you. Because I mean, if a guy can do it, a girl can do it as well.
Right. Yep.
And so that's how I was always taught, and she kind of was a role model for me. I was able to look up to her in those aspects. So
That's awesome. And has she got to see some of your games?
Oh yeah, plenty of games.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah.
No, because I
awesome.
know is she still in Ohio back?
Yes, she is
Yeah?
in Ohio.
Okay.
But she's moving to Portland
Okay.
sometime soon. But she'll make it down to a couple games whenever she can.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that must be like the best feeling that she has watching you play. I mean, just
it is.
Because she knows
is.
you worked for it. It's like that's so cool.
Does she kind of let you play, or does she give you kind of like the WNBA's perspective, like, oh, you should have done that, you should have done that, like, or does she kind of just let you be who you are?
She kind of lets me be me. She's not really the type of parent to take over. It's like once I got to college, it was just I'm just talking only to my coach. My mom was more of a support system. She'll be here when I need her. She'll always have my back, clap for me when I score, or clap for me even if I'm doing bad or anything like that.
Yep.
So
awesome.
That's awesome. It's important to have those types of people in your life, and
Definitely
it's nice
is.
that you have that role model who, I mean, especially as probably a young kid, you probably looked up and wanted to play basketball because of her, and now kind of you're following in that footsteps, but you're creating your own name for yourself, and you're kind of getting to probably live that dream that you probably had, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. That is awesome. It's very important. We always love to ask this question. If you could change one thing in our world, what would it be and why?
I guess I would want to change. Actually, one thing that's kind of hard.
Yeah, we make it hard
yeah.
here.
I have a couple things, but one thing let me think. I would say, well, for me, I would say equality. I know like me being like a Black woman, there's a lot of inequality like for us. I know there's certain people who like don't want us to succeed.
Yeah.
So that's like why we work so hard, at least why I work so hard.
Yeah.
So I would want to change like men and women, or Black, white, Mexicans, anybody. I want that all to be equal. I want us to all have that same like type of same mindset, but also same, like, I wouldn't say path, but same opportunities or connections and stuff like that.
Of course.
I feel like it would definitely make it easier. It would decrease like racism. I feel like that's my opinion, but it may not.
Sure.
I don't know. I think like having equality for everyone would kind of, I would say, make the world a better place. I feel like we'll get along more. It wouldn't be as much crime or killing or like any type of any of that stuff. If our equality was the same. So
for sure. Well, last question here is, where can our followers follow you on Instagram and other social platforms?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, Nevaeh Tot 1. You can follow me on Twitter. It's also Nevaeh Tot. And then TikTok, it's just Nevaeh Tot as well. It's just my name. So
awesome.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on there.
You're the first one to give the Twitter TikTok platform.
There we go.
So all right, that's the future.
Right?
It is, yeah.
Which is where you are, which we love. So
well, I just wanted to thank you once again for joining us on We're Not Blowing Hot Air. It was really cool to connect with you and just learn about who you are and where you're going and all the amazing things that you're going to do. It's super inspiring. So I'm super happy that you could join us, and
we support you. Well, we want to be part of your going forward. So just know that we're here
supporting you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do.
Hey, thanks for listening to We're Not Blowing Hot Air, hosted by Lauren Karlstrom and me, Ben Johnson. Today's episode was produced by Heidi Norman and was edited and engineered by Scott Deming. Do us a solid and share, subscribe, rate, and review wherever you podcast. And follow Oxygen Plus on all social media platforms for the latest and greatest happenings at O+.